This is Engadget. Here's what's happening in the world of technology.
It's Monday, February 28th. At the behest of the country's government, Meta took its most significant action yet against Russian state media organizations amid the ongoing invasion of Ukraine. On Sunday, Nick Clegg, the company's recently promoted president of global affairs, said Meta was restricting some Russian accounts within the war-torn nation. We have been in contact with the government of Ukraine, and at their request, we have also restricted access to several accounts in Ukraine, including those belonging to some Russian state media organizations, said Clegg. We've reached out to Meta to ask the company to clarify how it's restricting those accounts. Clegg noted Ukraine also asked Meta to limit Russia's access to Facebook and Instagram. For the time being, the company denied that request, claiming people in the country have used its platforms to organize anti-war protests and access independent information. We believe turning off our services would silence important expression at a crucial time, he said. This most recent move comes after Meta blocked Russian state media outlets from accessing its advertising platform or using other monetization features. Russia's Roskomnadzor telecom regulator threatened to throttle and restrict access to Facebook after company officials declined to stop fact-checking state-backed media organizations on the platform. Clegg said on Sunday the company would continue to label and fact-check content from those outlets. He also confirmed, following reports from internet monitoring organization NetBlocks, that the Russian government had started restricting access to its social networks. And with Russia's invasion causing significant damage to Ukraine's internet infrastructure, SpaceX CEO Elon Musk said on Saturday his company would bring its Starlink satellite internet service to the country. Starlink service is now active in Ukraine, Musk said on Twitter, more terminals en route. Musk's pledge came after Mikhailo Fedorov, the country's vice prime minister, mentioned him in a tweet. We ask you to provide Ukraine with Starlink stations and to address sane Russians to stand, Fedorov said. While many were quick to praise Elon Musk's announcement, others, like Rebellion PAC executive director Brianna Wu, noted Starlink is unlikely to help Ukrainians stay connected. For one, as The Verge points out in its review of the service, a Starlink dish requires a near-perfect line of sight with SpaceX's Constellation network. An urban environment is not a place you want to deploy the service since buildings, and in this case, smoke from Russian artillery shelling, can easily obstruct a signal. There's also the question of how you would get Starlink terminals to people in the city and other parts of the country. Kyiv, for instance, is surrounded by Russian forces. Following 4 days of intense fighting, internet connectivity in Ukraine has been spotty at times, particularly in the parts of the country that have seen the most combat. On Saturday, NetBlocks told Reuters it saw connectivity to Gigatrans, Ukraine's backbone internet provider, temporarily fall to below 20% of normal levels. While Ukraine hasn't suffered a nationwide blackout yet, there's worry the situation could change at any moment, potentially making it far more difficult for Ukrainians to stay in touch with their loved ones.
If you want to catch the latest tech news as it's happening, check out Engadget.com or tune in again every weekday.
SpokenLayer.